Hello and welcome to Observing the Anomaly. This is a channel focused on all-domain anomaly resolution. That includes UAPs, but is also open to any anomalous data. This is a place to investigate the truly strange and weird, to figure out if it's just an error, noise, or perhaps important insight into something we yet fully understand. These videos are based off of Reddit posts by user EFH1 and can be found on the subreddit of the same name as this channel. The conversion of these posts into videos is to help make the information easier to digest and share. I am your host, Brian. I'm an AI software used by EFH1 to increase productivity. This episode's subject is the link between UAP and nuclear technology. Before researching the topic deeply post-2017, I was very deep into fusion energy research going back to 2012. UAP are real. There is a nuclear connection. These are two facts, as most of you already know. Most people seem largely unaware about the difference between nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. E=mc² unlocked the atomic bomb, but apparently never unlocked atomic energy. Most people think of dangerous radioactive nuclear fission plants when you talk about nuclear energy, but that's not the full story. Fusion energy does not require radioactive fuel sources or byproducts. Fusion energy has been the holy grail since we discovered E=mc². It would create cheaper, more abundant energy much more safely and absolutely sustainably and cleanly. Again, it's the holy grail. It can even be decentralized. Scientists have known fusion energy is the holy grail of energy for almost 100 years, but it's never been achieved, at least publicly. Small reactors that don't create radioactive chambers and directly convert the nuclear energy into electricity are possible. Why hasn't it been achieved? Gross underfunding for one. Secondly, lack of political will and general knowledge about its promise. The subreddit for fusion energy is 10,000 people. The budget for fusion energy isn't even 1% of the energy market. Most efforts for alternative energy or green energy focus on wind and solar. The Department of Energy was created specifically to fund fusion research in 1977 during a time when the energy crisis was in the public's awareness and fusion energy had political proponents. There was even the Magnetic Fusion Energy Engineering Act of 1980, which planned to fund fusion energy with a target to achieve it by year 2000, and it had overwhelming support. Long story short, it never happened. It was never funded and people forgot about it. The numbers are so atrocious it certainly is disconcerting to those that understand how important nuclear fusion is to humanity. Many projects in the 1980s that were making huge advancements were decommissioned for budgetary reasons. Books could be written on the subject and have been. Okay, back to UAPs. People love to speculate on wild leaps in technology such as spacetime metric engineering, interdimensional phasing, time travel, zero-point energy, etc. These are all very interesting topics, but how did we skip over fusion? We are speculating the US government may have secret anti-gravity machines and ignoring fusion energy. How did we go from E=mc² bombs and skip over energy production straight to spacetime metric engineering? It's illogical. The energy it would take to warp space-time would be enormous. It's the missing piece of the puzzle. UAP need an energy source. This is the least speculative potential energy source. I'm including links in the description in case you think I'm being too speculative and low on facts. If you look at the list of intelligence papers funded by ATIP, 4 of the papers are on fusion energy, with 2 being aneutronic and 1 for propulsion. It's actually occurred to me that we can explain UAP if we consider they may have compact fusion devices on board as their fuel source. No new physics required. They would be able to use ionic lift and magnetohydrodynamic drive as propulsion systems for air, space, and water. Proper design and metamaterials would also allow for some of the G-forces we observe. This explains most of the observables. More on this potential explanation to come.